the narrative begins in the vibrant world of cryptocurrency, a burgeoning financial ecosystem that has captivated millions with the promise of decentralization, privacy, and significant returns. In this context, a prominent figure emerged, a cryptocurrency billionaire whose meteoric rise to wealth was fueled by astute investments and groundbreaking technological innovations. His journey began in the early 2000s, a period marked by the explosive growth of Bitcoin and other altcoins. He began accumulating significant holdings, navigating the nascent market with remarkable skill, and building a reputation as a leading voice in the crypto community. His ventures transcended simple trading. They included the founding of multiple startups aimed at revolutionizing transactional methodologies through blockchain technology. As the years progressed, this individual became increasingly enigmatic, his transactions and business dealings cloaked in secrecy that aroused both intrigue and suspicion. His social media presence was carefully curated, often hinting at ambitious projects without disclosing specifics. Simultaneously, he forged ties within the darker corners of the web, engaging with figures known for their illicit activities. This dual existence, one in the legitimate business realm and another in the underbelly of the Darknet, positioned him not just as a billionaire, but as a player in a far more complex game involving black markets and anonymity. Around the year 2021, rising tensions in the crypto market came to a head as regulatory scrutiny over various cryptocurrencies intensified. Governments around the world began implementing stricter regulations to mitigate risks associated with money laundering, fraud, and the financing of illegal activities. These developments presented significant challenges for many in the field, scanning daily for loopholes while attempting to evade increasingly sophisticated monitoring. Amid this shifting landscape, the billionaire's operations grew more clandestine, allegedly engaging with various online marketplaces where anonymity is paramount. Utilizing cryptocurrencies to facilitate these transactions, he became a key player in an ecosystem known for its murky dealings. As the dust began to settle from the tumult of regulatory changes, the billionaire planned a significant announcement, touted as a groundbreaking investment initiative that promised to propel him further into the stratosphere of wealth. Speculation ran rampant across online forums and social media platforms, suggesting that the announcement would encompass new technologies and partnerships that would redefine digital transactions. Some believed he was set to unveil a revolutionary payday lending platform integrating non-fungible tokens, NFTs, to secure loans, while others anticipated an acquisition of a major blockchain firm. A mere week before this scheduled announcement, a sudden disappearance shook the crypto community. The billionaire vanished without a trace, creating an immediate ripple of concern and curiosity among his followers and investors. Cryptographic wallets associated with his operations began to show unusual activity, suggesting a potential exit strategy that many speculated was tied to his potential retreat from public scrutiny. Some observers noted that in the days leading up to his disappearance, several large transactions took place moving substantial cryptocurrency amounts into lesser-known wallets, widely believed to be associated with clandestine activities. The blockchain ledger's transparency presented a stark contrast to the secrecy surrounding the billionaire's movements, illuminating a path that would prove crucial for investigators. Authorities soon became involved, initiating formal inquiries into his sudden absence. Law enforcement relied on a combination of forensic analysis, blockchain technology, and human intelligence to piece together the puzzle. Blockchain analysis tools became essential in tracking the movement of funds. Investigators employed a comprehensive review of wallets associated with the billionaire, utilizing clustering techniques to link addresses and identify patterns indicative of abnormal behavior. This digital paper trail provided critical leads, revealing a pattern of transactions that suggested an exit from the markets and possible contact with various Darknet entities known to facilitate anonymity in financial dealings. Simultaneously, investigators delved into the billionaire's connections within the cryptocurrency community and beyond. The growing trend of cryptocurrency-related criminal activities posed unique challenges for law enforcement. Cybercriminals often leverage the pseudonymous nature of blockchain to obscure their identities, making traditional investigative methods ineffective. In this case, the billionaire's dual identity as a blockchain innovator and a potential participant in illicit activities blurred the lines, complicating the investigation's nature. As efforts unfolded to locate him, digital evidence began to emerge that pointed towards a darker turn in the billionaire's dealings. Digital footprints left on encrypted communication platforms suggested that he maintained contact with individuals linked to various criminal undercurrents in the Darknet. These connections became the new focus of the investigation, leading authorities to delve into contexts beyond conventional financial crime. Encrypted messaging apps like Signal and Telegram, favored for their privacy features, exchanged conversations with individuals from notorious hacking groups, facilitating discussions around crypto theft, data breaches, and even cryptocurrency laundering tactics. Investigators traced interactions that hinted at potential collusion, revealing that the billionaire had roots extending into the criminal underbelly of the digital world. Within the first few weeks of the investigation, multiple theories surrounding the billionaire's disappearance circulated widely, from elaborate schemes involving faking one's death to potential kidnappings orchestrated by rival parties. The allure of significant cryptocurrency holdings combined with escalating violence in the crypto space instigated fears that the billionaire's disappearance could indeed be foul play. Cybersecurity specialists were brought in to conduct a thorough risk assessment of the situation, prompting analyses of social media engagements that showcased his wealth and connections to the parallel worlds of crypto and crime. Amid growing pressure for answers, investigators reviewed the specifics of his financial portfolio. The calculation of his crypto holdings provided insight into the scale of wealth involved, which was becoming a key element in understanding the motives behind his potential disappearance. Analysts tasked with dissecting transaction histories observed an uptick in suspicious withdrawals from various exchanges prior to the announcement date. Some of these exchanges exhibited in-house capabilities for tracing funds linked to illicit activities, allowing authorities to craft a comprehensive understanding of these transactions' origins and intended denouements. Focus shifted towards examining the lifestyles of those who shared space with the billionaire, transcending vetted professionals and including those who found their way into his orbit through networking events and social gatherings within ornate venues. Each contact perspired clues that could lead to broader insights into the internal culture of cryptocurrency entrepreneurs and their interactions with darker elements. The potential presence of rivalries or feuds within this close-knit community became an avenue worth exploring. An analysis was performed on public interactions, determining whether any personal conflicts could have crossed over into professional transactions, breeding a fertile ground for abhorrent tactics. Simultaneously, cybersecurity teams analyzed digital communications linked to individuals who had dealings with the billionaire. Internet protocols identified exchange patterns associated with known entities on the Darknet. Several online brands gained traction as potential platforms for illicit engagements. Investigators tracked alleged relationships circling around these platforms, focusing on various NFT marketplaces that facilitated transactions whose legitimacy could warrant examination. A notable recurring theme emerged. The existence of services operating on the periphery of the law tended to be fluid in their operations, adept at creating pseudonymous identities to obscure their true ownership, while facilitating transaction flows that raised red flags. As investigators pieced together digital evidence, clues pointed toward broader regional implications in the matter. Emerging reports indicated that various parts of Eastern Europe were becoming hotspots for cryptocurrency-related criminal activities. The proliferation of crypto-mixing services, designed to obfuscate transaction trails, gained significant traction, raising alarms amongst regulators and law enforcement. Some of the funds linked to the billionaire's wallet appeared entangled with these services, foreshadowing a web of complicity that crossed international borders. This preliminary understanding set a trajectory for the investigation, integrating efforts from multiple law enforcement agencies across countries, utilizing advances in digital forensics to transcend jurisdictional limitations. Cross-referencing social networking data unveiled an array of potential suspects from amidst both the corporate world and criminal enterprises. Interviews began with individuals who attended the billionaire's last public events. These discussions established timelines and observational details that clarified interactions leading to the date of his disappearance. Some attendees noted his increasingly paranoid demeanor, while others claimed to have witnessed random encounters with shadowy figures in the perimeter, steeped in a cloak of secrecy. Each interview further expanded the contextual framework of the investigation, establishing various personas surrounding the investment billionaire. In a parallel development, Darknet forums began to reflect the growing commotion surrounding his vanishing. Anonymous posts peppered these platforms, some echoing theories surrounding the billionaire's fate, while others boasted in triumph over potential capital gains. For officers investigating these forums, the dichotomy highlighted key emotional responses amongst the criminal community, further demonstrating that the loss of a high-profile figure incited considerable chatter and speculation. Engaging with undercover operatives to infiltrate these discussions became an essential tactic for gathering intelligence. Officers recognized that such platforms also served as meeting points for those steeped in criminal activities. Accessing encrypted channels presented challenges, with the need for extemporaneous techniques of information gathering coupled with traditional field research methods to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the situation. As the investigation deepened, experts in blockchain forensics developed models to trace additional vectors of financial activity. They began deploying advanced algorithms that utilized machine learning techniques to identify clusters of transactions attributed to known illicit activities. These analyses integrated data across multiple wallets, connecting seemingly innocuous transactions that, when viewed in conjunction with each other, painted a chilling picture of elaborate financial manipulation. Investigators faced hurdles pertaining to cross-border legal frameworks and the differences in laws governing cryptocurrency in various jurisdictions. Understanding this legal nuance became integral when synchronizing efforts among local and international authorities. Policies governing asset seizure, extradition, and the potential for civil recovery initiated complex considerations, while pursuing the traces of funds establishing the billionaire's networks of influence and connection. As the investigation progressed into months, the once resonating buzz of excitement surrounding the supposed announcement transitioned into morbid curiosity. Media coverage mirrored public interest, reaching a fever pitch as conjectures of all varieties proliferated. Each calculated step, drawn from analytical insights, only deepened the web of complexity. Initial momentum displayed patterns, conceivably amounting to harbingers of potential criminal exposure. The landscape signaled that disambiguating a life adjacent to organized crime carried as many risks as rewards. Investigators were prepared to dissect a singular existence whose connections were seemingly enmeshed in both innovation and obfuscation, attuned to the emergence of crucial implications set against the backdrop of an ever-evolving digital frontier. As patterns emerged and potential outcomes coalesced, reality impinged governance methodologies capable of stemming torrents awash in unparalleled capital. The extent of influence surrounding this disappearance suggested aspirations exerted by multiple parties, each vying for a stake in the cryptocurrency narrative. The shadow cast by uncertainty advanced the existing predicament, compelling legal and investigative frameworks to adapt in novel ways befitting a new generation molded under the influence of crypto-anarchy, echoing the densities of both rise and fall, while whispering the promises of progress against the perils of unfettered ambition. This narrative remains far from complete, as the particulars surrounding the disappearance of the cryptocurrency billionaire continue to evolve. The interplay between legitimate entrepreneurial endeavors and darkened alleyways persists, inviting heightened scrutiny in the sphere where finance and technology collide while simultaneously challenging the perceptions of morality within the digital age. The story continues following the sudden disappearance of Michael Thompson, a self-made billionaire and prominent figure in the cryptocurrency world. His abrupt exit from both his personal and professional life had raised eyebrows, triggering a series of investigations into not only his business dealings, but also his potential connections to illicit activities tied to the Darknet. Initially, the investigation focused on Thompson's last known whereabouts. He was last seen leaving a high-profile blockchain conference in Singapore, which attracted influencers, investors, and industry specialists. Surveillance footage indicated he exited the venue at approximately 10 p.m., seemingly in good spirits. Subsequent inquiries revealed that Thompson had missed several scheduled meetings the following day, including a crucial partnership discussion with a multinational technology firm. The missed engagements raised red flags, especially given Thompson's reputation for meticulous planning and punctuality. Concern escalated as his absence from social media and public engagements persisted without any explanation. Investigators sifted through Thompson's digital footprint to establish a timeline of events leading up to his disappearance. A comprehensive analysis of his online interactions revealed communications with several individuals known to have ties to both legitimate cryptocurrency projects and the Darknet. At least 3 encrypted messages were located in private conversations on secure messaging platforms, hinting at potential transactions that raised further scrutiny. The deep webs of encryption and anonymity, characteristic of the blockchain economy, often complicate investigations. Cryptocurrencies, unlike traditional financial systems, allow for transactions to be conducted with a level of pseudonymity, making it difficult to trace funds and identify parties involved. Investigators were aware of various forms of blockchain tracing software that could provide insights into Thompson's financial movements. They utilized these tools to track the flow of funds from Thompson's wealth, particularly focusing on addresses that showed unusual activity prior to his disappearance. One wallet, in particular, had received significant funds shortly before Thompson's last known public appearance. The associated transactions aligned with a network of wallets consistently displaying patterns indicative of laundering operations connected to Darknet markets. Though cryptocurrency exchanges operate under differing levels of regulation, those that adhered to Know Your Customer (KYC) regulations facilitated some tracing of Thompson's assets. However, Thompson had reportedly engaged in peer-to-peer trading and utilized decentralized exchanges, complicating efforts to ascertain the legitimate origin of certain assets. The investigation turned towards potential criminal entities in the Darknet realm, including sophisticated hackers and organized criminals known for exploiting vulnerabilities in the cryptocurrency domain. A deep dive into found addresses associated with illegal sales of drugs, firearms, and stolen personal information revealed connections to darker realms, including possible threats to Thompson himself. Speculation mounted regarding whether Thompson had been abducted or had orchestrated his own disappearance to escape mounting pressures from both business liabilities and potential criminal entanglements. His ventures had experienced volatility, particularly in the wake of regulatory scrutiny concerning initial coin offerings, ICOs, that had once brought him immense wealth. As the investigation continued, it was crucial to assess Thompson's involvement in various cryptocurrency projects that had attracted legal attention. One company, named Exchange, had recently faced allegations of fraud and deceitful business practices that left investors in turmoil. Thompson served as an advisor for the company, and his name had become closely associated with its fate. The exchange's impending legal troubles intensified the investigation into Thompson, leading detectives to explore a possible connection between his advisory role and the subsequent fallout within the firm. As investigators sought to unravel this web of connections, they discovered that Exchange had undergone 2 audits in rapid succession, only to receive qualified opinions due to discrepancies in their financial reporting. The timing of these audits suggested a clear attempt to conceal operational issues. As authorities delved deeper, they found that several key executives within Exchange had mysteriously resigned in the weeks leading up to Thompson's disappearance, further raising suspicions about possible collusion or cover-up. Digital forensic analysts employed advanced techniques to recover deleted files from Thompson's devices, anticipating revealing documents or communications that could provide insight into his mindset and actions prior to vanishing. They initiated a review of his email accounts, discovering encrypted messages that seemed to contain sensitive information related to possible exit strategies. Some content pointed to potential dealings with anonymous figures in the Darknet, creating the hypothesis that Thompson might have stumbled upon or become involved in illegal transactions that prompted his decision to disappear. Continuing the investigation required collaboration with international law enforcement agencies, as leads extended beyond national borders. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, became involved, and agents aligned efforts with counterparts from Europol and Interpol to trace leads across multiple jurisdictions. Interviews with associates who had relationships with Thompson unearthed varying perspectives on his recent behavior.